can be patient if you figure out what to do in the meantime. Ideally, the thing that you do in the meantime builds towards the goal, but I think it's way more important that it just not detract from the goal.
Alex Hormozi states in his video that sometimes being patient is just figuring out what to do in the meantime. And to be honest, I'm not really sure where life is supposed to go for me right now. I'm doing this YouTube thing, trying to put out these videos. I am working a stable job. I have a house. I have kids. I have a wife. Things are going really good. I'm looking for the next thing. I'm just not 100% sure what that is yet. Weekends like these, sometimes I just don't make a lot of plans. So I think to myself, what should I do today? And this is what I came up with. I modded a Wii. I turned my iPad into a Linux device. I worked out. I'm making music again. And I spent time with my family, you know, of course. I should be doing that. Why am I telling you all of this? Because I think it would be a waste for me to spend this whole weekend kind of doing stuff that I enjoy and not share that with you guys. Okay, so I actually got this bad boy, the ergonomic Logitech mouse. I think it's called the Lift here. And you know what? The reason I got this is because it's Bluetooth and it's cool and it's white. I only really try and buy white computer tech. Okay, so I was bored, and you know that iPad that I talked about in my last video here? Well, I decided I would try and see if I can install Linux on it, because why not? So you actually have to download this app right here called the Alt Store, and this isn't a native app. So you have to actually go to your browser, use a laptop here and iPad into it. And then when you have the app open, there's this app called UTM, which you can actually get on Mac as well for free. So what you do is once that's downloaded, it actually has an option to browse the UTM gallery. And there's all kinds of distributions here. Now, I tried to do Ubuntu. It didn't work for some reason, not sure why. So maybe I'll make a video on that at some point, because that's the easiest one to use. For Windows 10 and Windows 11, you got to go through some more hoops. So I just made it super simple and I did Arc, downloaded Arc here, do that. Take my handy dandy foldable keyboard. Okay, so I've got my setup here. I've got my iPad, I've got the foldable keyboard, and if I'm feeling crazy, I can bring this Bluetooth mouse. Now we're connected to the iPad. You can see that there. All right, and look at that. Okay, down there at the bottom, Linux is loading up. Come on, baby. All right, look at that. Now we've got config. And now we're running Arch Linux. Cool. So what is the point of this whole setup? Well, there's not much of a point because I really have no idea what I'm doing in Linux. I'm a tech guy, so I like trying new things and trying to pretend I know how to use Linux. There's all the snobs out there on the internet that think Arch Linux is the way to go. So maybe someday I'll become that person, not right now. macOS is still my operating system of choice. So why am I telling you all of this? Well, I think it would be a waste to not document some of the random things that I do on the weekend, right? It's my personality that I'm trying to have shine through. You guys just think I sit around and think about life and don't do much else when I'm here at home not working? Well, sometimes, but I don't always want to. I want to do things. That's kind of why I shared about my trip to Arizona. I'm in a weird spot where I'm a tech guy, I like to play games, but I don't have a gaming PC. I have a PS5, I have a Switch, and I have a Mac, obviously, which is totally fine for me. I'm not a super big gamer. I do like to play with friends sometimes, Fortnite and Rocket League, because Truett loves Rocket League. And for the record, I am not good. But when it comes to actual games that I like to play, I have like a few that are really old that are my preferences. They pretty much always involve Crash Bandicoot, Rayman, Mario, or really retro games that are nostalgic for me. And guess what is great for these? Emulators. What else do you do when you're bored on a weekend? You get a Wii from Facebook Marketplace. Look at that beautiful thing right there. A little power juice there. Don't mind the fingerprints. Ah, the nostalgia. All right, so you might notice that there's a few extra apps on here that aren't normal. That's because I had a magical thing that I did, which was use an SD card, load it up here, did some magic on the computer, you know. If you want to mod out your Wii, it's better if you have a Windows machine, I'm not gonna lie. The best part about a Mac device is that you actually get to use more than one operating system. You can run macOS, obviously, natively. You can also run Windows via Parallels, which is sweet because I was able to download all the programs that I needed to download and mod the Wii. As you can see, my downloads folder, full of all kinds of stuff. Wii Backup Manager, Wii GSC, FAT32, had to format the SD card to FAT32, all this stuff, loaded up my fancy Arc browser, go to YouTube, and this one here. This is the guy that I followed. And I just basically followed his video and went through the whole thing and took the Wii that I bought on Facebook Marketplace and just did this to it. boot me, all that stuff. Had to learn a few terms along the way, and that took me a second to figure out. Install Homebrew, jailbreak it. For the record, YouTube, this part is very legal, and installed a few different apps and made it look like I was hacking it. And it took me a while to figure some of this stuff out because I don't understand half of this. Making it look like this, installing a bunch of things, marking them, hitting install, and now I'm able to run games off a USB. Like, oh yeah. Madeline hasn't played any games with me yet.
Yes, I have.
Oh, we played Mario Kart one time. Why should you even care what I'm talking about? These are the things that I like to do in my downtime, and I've kind of realized that I want to share more of those things, even if it's not super useful to you per se. I just want to share with you guys what I like to do. I want to let my personality kind of bleed through. I like to do tech stuff. I like to hack things. I like to tinker. That's what I do in my free time. It's what I do professionally too, but I also like to do it in my free time. Could some of these things be classified as wasteful? Video games definitely have wasted my time in the past, but sometimes it is important to relax on a day of the weekend, find a hobby, see what you can do with it. Making the Wii do more than it was designed to do was a fun project for me. Turning my iPad into a computer is just a fun experiment. Will I do anything with it? I have no idea, but I can. That's the point. Is there a point to this video? No, not really. But sometimes I need to try new things to be interesting. I didn't really think of this weekend as a waste, more as a way to do something that I like to recharge. And that's something that often I feel like I have to keep reminding myself. And often I feel like that's something I have to keep reminding myself. And I know creative people like you and me need to keep doing that. I won't always get a weekend like this because life always finds a way to get busy. Someday life is going to take off. I'm sure it will. But that day is not today. So for now, I am going to enjoy this day, document it, share it with you, and see where this takes us. If you liked this kind of video, be sure to comment which part of this you found interesting, or comment what you'd like to see that I do or for me to expand upon in the next video. Like and subscribe to the channel. The channel is doing much better than when I first started. That's, I guess, how YouTube works. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Oh yeah, we also lost power. Okay, so we have lost power 2 days in a row now because somebody keeps running into a telephone pole down the road from us. So don't mind us, candlelight. Like we're back in the olden days, Little House on the Prairie era. Yeah, this has been our weekend, but we're just trying to stay.
You can't even see me.
Can't even see us. Yeah, don't worry about the kids just running over here.
We're fine, everything's fine, they'll be fine.
Everything's fine, everything will be fine.